This message is very specific for mission-led beings that know they're here to anchor in new earth frequency. So there's so much coming through right now, but I'm going to try to make sense of this without getting too scattered with the messages because there's so many of them. This is for those that have recently closed out a cycle. You will know this. You've also known your entire life. There's been an inner knowing that you're meant to make a big impact. So, again, this is for mission led beings. If you do not resonate with having a big mission on your heart that keeps calling you to make a big impact in the world, then this message is simply not for you. This is for those that are here to lead New Earth. So, few things coming through. First, maybe this will offer some confirmation that you've recently closed out a cycle. So, this is how you'll know this message is for you. You know you have closed out a 10, 12, 13-year cycle. You are feeling an acceleration and a momentum. You're also experiencing a very quick, instant manifestation. And recently, your mission has taken on a whole new evolution. So, the first phase of your mission is complete. Preparation and purification has been completed. The initiation is complete. And now you are laying the groundwork for the next phase. And so the metaphor that was coming in right before I hit record is that the divine wrecking ball has already come in and demolished everything that has been rooted in falsehood and untruths, everything that has been rooted in fear based consciousness. You've already gone through it. That phase of that phase of your mission is over. Now the foundation is being laid for you to fully step into the next evolution of your mission. So it's just like building a house. First, you lay the foundation so that you can build something strong that's rooted in truth. So everything that's already been rooted in falsehood has been demolished by the divine wrecking ball. And now you're building from a solid structure and a strong, solid foundation. Keyword foundation, and another keyword stability, and also a lot of momentum. So you may be seeing lots of fours and ones. You also may be seeing lots of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. You may see lots of 4, 1, 4s. You also may see lots of nines right now as divine synchronicities reflecting back to you that you have completely ended a cycle and you are embarking on a whole new phase of your mission. Many of you will have already had, by the time you receive this message, divine downloads drop in that take on a whole new pivot as far as like how you are here to be of service and your role in the collective awakening that humanity is going through right now. Many of you are here to infiltrate uh, industries, whether that be school systems, healthcare, um, business, uh, technology. You're here to bring higher consciousness, divine feminine wisdom, and your frequency to spaces that have been notoriously rooted in um, fear-based control, manipulation, greed, uh, scarcity, lack, and power dynamics. And you have been completely groomed for this. So your entire life, you've been groomed for this. So this will resonate with a specific group within this collective. You know that you have been groomed for this and that every role you've played or every, like, for example, job you've worked or every like career path you've followed, like everything has prepared you for what you're stepping into now. And you can feel the momentum, and many of you, by the time you've received this, have already received your next instructions. If you want to think of it that way, you've already downloaded your soul's instructions for the next phase of your mission, which you could not have accessed prior to now because it's perfectly divinely timed with the phase that we're moving into now collectively. If you're listening to this, you are one of the new earth humans that are leading the shift into the new paradigm, and you're here to anchor it. Others of you may resonate very much with creating sacred spaces for others and creating safe spaces where those that are moving into their ascension timeline will be able to safely regulate their nervous systems, and be in safe communities or groups where they can open up and feel received and seen and heard and things like that. And so everybody's mission is different, but there is a next evolution of your mission that you are moving into. And for many, the message that's coming through is there's a complete pivot from what you have been doing. And you've likely already have known a little bit about this, in the back of your mind or something like that, that whatever you've been doing was just a small little piece of your mission. It's actually much bigger than you ever could have imagined. And you've always felt that and known that your whole life, but you haven't been able to put your finger on it, or you've been dancing around it or dabbling in it, but not fully seeing the big picture. But the divine has showed you more pieces of the puzzle lately if you are part of this collective, and also has switched on the time to take action, right? So sacred masculine action is the other thing that's coming through right now. You have gone through the void, the sacred in between, the void. I share this on all of my other previous messages that I've channeled through over the course of the summer 2025 for those that resonated with the Quantum Ascension Shift Code series that I released. I This is for those that have been preparing for this shift that is happening now, and the timeline that you're already moving into, and now there is a new foundation and structure that's being filled in so you can be stabilized in your mission moving forward. So you've already gone through the sacred void. You've already been lost at sea, so to speak. I always use the metaphor that you we're no longer able to cling to the old timeline, the old identity, the old world, the old way of doing, the old way of being, right? But you've been lost at sea, when you're lost at sea, you can't see like any shoreline ever, right? And no matter what direction you look, all you would see is more water across the horizon because there was nothing for you to cling to there when you were swimming in the void, so to speak. There was a lot being dismantled, and there was a lot of trust and anchoring in faith, and there was a lot of releasing the old linear timeline and performative identity, and nothing was making sense. You have exited the void if you are resonating with this transmission, and you know this because now you can see the shoreline of your higher divine timeline, which naturally aligns you with your highest dharma and your highest contribution to humanity, because I am speaking to the souls that are here as volunteer souls to help shift humanity and assist in this mass awakening through your own unique lens, your own unique contribution, your own unique gifts, your own unique magic and divine genius, your voice, your truth, your authentic expression, your art, your medicine, your magic. Many of you are meant to be channels, whether written channels or verbal channels, like whatever it is, your contribution to humanity is ultimately first. I always say this, it is your ascension into it is your own ascension is the highest contribution to humanity, but this is the byproduct of you fully embodying your divinity. Is it's time you are being activated into the next evolution of your mission. And so you have gone through the sacred void, you have been lost in the sacred in between where nothing makes sense, where you can't see the shore no matter where you're looking. So you can't see the shore of your old identity, and you can't see the shore of new earth, your highest timeline. And now you can. You've been given some pieces to the puzzle that are guiding you in a certain direction that is now aligning you with your highest divine timeline, one that anchors you into your Dharma. And you've been getting downloads and pieces of this for a long time, but now something recently has clicked into place. And this may have come with a huge pivot, a huge plot twist on how you are to be of service, or what you're being called to do, or what you're being called to step more fully into. And for many of you, it is way bigger than you ever imagined and requires a level of inner authority and inner strength and resilience, which is what you've been groomed for over the course of your life. This is not an accident that you've gone through everything that you've gone through. You're meant to be able to stand in your truth and stand in your power despite what anybody else has to say about it, because your rise will cause opposition. For many of you, this is just the facts. Your rise, your visibility, your love, the level of influence, the level of legacy you're here to create, the impact you're here to make, the wave that you're here to make in this pond of awakening, like that will cause opposition. And you're meant to be able to trust so fully in the divine orchestration of what is guiding you and leading you this whole time. If this would have come to you any sooner, you wouldn't have been able to handle it, because you would have still been coming from fear-based consciousness or needing some kind of external validation or approval. The soul I'm speaking to now is a powerful acting soul. You have built a level of resilience and strength inside. It doesn't matter what anybody else has to say about it. You know who you are and how you serve and why you're here, and the purity of your intention, despite what anybody else has to say about it. The rise will cause opposition, and you are fully prepared for this now. You have been preparing for this, and the initiation is complete. The other thing that's coming through is that there's going to be a lot of massive changes in the very, very near future, likely within hours or days of listening to this transmission. If not the very early part of December, you will be met with opportunities, partnerships, collaborations, like something that comes seemingly out of the blue that you're already destined for, that you've agreed to on an inner level, on a soul level, but you also kind of know that you've already been aligned with this your whole life. So it's still going to come as a shock to you. It is going to require a higher level of authority within you, a divine authority, meaning your trust and your faith in the God source within you is so unwavering that it doesn't matter what anybody else says. You will need to rely on that inner strength and inner conviction, and yes, you will also be attracting in other beings that are part of your soul tribe to be able to communicate with, collaborate with, and things like that. So you are no longer going to be the lone wolf doing this alone. The lone wolf era is over. You are here to shine and rise, and you will be met with divine collaborations, partnerships, opportunities where other beings that are also part of this divine mission that you're on, these other cooperative components will come into your life. Some will be a supportive structure, some will be able to accelerate the momentum of your path, and you will know when you meet them because of the divine knowing and the inner alignment that you just feel when you're in their presence. It will be unmistakable. It will not be something at the level of the mind. If you're listening to this and you ask, well, how do you know all of this? Or how, blah, 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 like this video is already not for you. I get comments like that sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with those comments, but I'm not here to convince you or anyone of anything. I'm speaking to the soul that knows. And the inner knowing is beyond the conceptual mind that is rooted in limitation, lack, and threat prevention. So the mind is constantly trying to figure everything out. I'm speaking to the soul that knows. You are here to impact millions through your divine genius, your magic, your sacred gifts, and you are now going to be given opportunities out of the seemingly blue, out of thin air, that align you with your highest timeline, because you have done the work, because the purification phase is complete, the preparation phase is complete, the initiation is complete. The first phase of your journey, which has been like a decade or more, is complete. You are now ready to move into the next phase of your sacred mission. And when I say it's going to require a level of inner authority, this is you fully stepping into your divine masculine energy and your king energy, your leadership, your divine authority, your divine power, not egoic power, not egoic manipulation, not egoic control, but you fully knowing who and what you are and how you serve and why you're here, and being able to show up in your divine authority, your divine confidence, unwaveringly, fully anchored in your trust and your faith, and know that you are fully guided and supported on this journey. So it is going to require that you also take sacred action on the steps that are being revealed to you. So you will know this message is for you because you have been receiving sacred action steps, which is just uh, increasing the momentum, right? So you're not only experiencing instant manifestation and realizing that your frequency is literally shifting the field, like just simply by your existence and simply by your presence, and things are being reflected back to you very quickly, and you can't deny this is undeniable magnetism because things are being reflected back very quickly from the time you focus on them, from the time you intend them, from the time you have a thought about them, and then it's instantly reflected back into your field, into your awareness. This is because that perceived gap is closing because you are operating from divine presence. And God, I just lost it. Where was I going with that? I just lost it. I'm gonna have to take a sip. um, It'll come back to me if it's important. Oh yeah. So everything's accelerating and the momentum is picking up very fast. And when you actually, so not only are you just shifting the field just simply through your existence by you being you authentically expressed, and now your frequency has elevated, which means basically you're no longer bogging it down with BS beliefs and conditioning that do not apply to the truth of who you are. So now that you're operating from your divine feminine frequency, things are happening very fast, and the perceived gap between um, manifestations is shortening. You are collapsing into your highest timeline, and the foundation is being laid right now for you. But not only are you shifting the field through your frequency and your existence and your presence alone, but you are now taking sacred action on that divine wisdom and guidance, which is like, can't even put words to how powerful that is. You are a force of nature. You're When you're taking sacred, divine guided actions rooted in this frequency that is already reflecting back to you how powerful you are, things are happening so fast. And so the other thing that's coming through is that you will be perceived as an overnight success. This is what's going to be this is what is coming through for a lot of you, that you are catapulting into your next timeline. Is collapsing right now as I share this. Within, like, literally something's going to come in. Collectively, this is happening within hours, days, if not just a few weeks, culminating towards the end of this year, catapulting you into a whole new timeline, bringing stability and a stronger foundation in the direction of your highest divine mission, sacred mission that's been on your heart for a long time. This isn't this, if this is for you. And yeah, I just lost it again. So, oh God, what was it? Hmm. I just lost it again. Mm, okay. Many of you will appear as an overnight success. So many of you may have felt like you've been hidden in plain sight, like you just were not able to gain traction, no matter how much you showed up before or what you were doing to stay, to get visible, or where you were sharing your gifts or magic, or whatever. And it's because you were divinely aligned to blow the F up at a very pivotal point in humanity's shift into new earth frequency, not before. And so many of you may have felt very stalled or very stagnant. That's the other thing that's coming through. I'm speaking to very powerful souls here that may have felt very stalled or stagnant because you know how powerful you are. The field is reflecting this back to you. And so you may have felt stalled or stagnant. But what's ultimately happening is divine timing is at play. You are part of the divine timing. The collective is part of the divine timing. The new earth shift that's happening right now into the 5D timeline is divine timing, and it's all coalescing as we speak, as we wind down this 2025 year. And so the message is coming through is this momentum and this acceleration that you're feeling. You're not crazy. This is here to confirm this if this is resonating with you. you will look like an overnight success. Others will be able to look at whatever is popping into your physical reality, and it may cause opposition, it may cause jealousy, it may cause judgment, it may cause naysayers, it may cause like trolls to comment on your stuff or whatever. And none of that means anything to you at this point, but like um the message here is that part of the reason this is coming through is you've been groomed for this and you've been prepared for this. So you're strong enough to handle anything that comes your way, but it will come fast and it will come out of the blue and it will be bigger than what you actually thought. So this is beyond what the mind has perceived as possible. So there is going to be a wow factor to this. There is going to, but also simultaneously an inner knowing that it'll completely, like, yeah, you've known this your whole life. And that's your soul's inner knowing. That's the divine intelligence within you that already knows that. That's the timeline that already exists, that you've already tapped into, that you're now collapsing into. So that inner knowing is there. Uh, uh, and so when this comes in, and there may be a series of things coming in, but there's going to be something significant that completely collapses you into this timeline and anchors in keywords, foundation and stability in the direction of you fully anchoring in your highest divine timeline, your highest Dharma timeline, meaning you being of the highest service in the way that you've already agreed to on a soul level as part of your sacred mission that you came here to live out. This is all unfolding and it will feel like it comes in very, very fast. So it's like, be open to receive. Know that this is happening. You can trust the synchronicities that you've been receiving. You can trust whatever sacred mirrors have been showing up and reflecting this back to you. And just know that when this comes in very fast, whatever it is, it's going to expand you. It's going to get you out of your comfort zone. It's going to require a high level of inner authority and confidence. Like you may even be like, oh shit, can you know what I mean? Like it's going to require you to fully know everything that you've always known about yourself and how powerful you are and how divinely guided you are um and how you're here to make a big impact in the world in your unique way, but it's going to require your full on authenticity, your full on inner authority, your full on divine confidence, and you have been prepared for this. So just know that when this comes in, or these series of things come in, that you already can handle this. Like that's what the purification phase was for. And that phase is complete. So this message is not for everyone. I know that there are some that are in the sacred in between and this and lost kind of where things are still not making sense, and that's totally fine. That's part of the transition. But for you, this message, if this is resonating, that phase is complete. The new timeline is here. Your soul incarnated and has been waiting for this very moment in human history on planet Earth for lifetimes. You've been cultivating through lifetimes the wisdom and the magic and everything that you bring to the table through lifetimes. Your ascension in this lifetime is to fully bring through everything that you have been cultivating, alchemizing, and shifting in previous lifetimes. This is all, and yes, all lifetimes are simultaneous, but you're a very old soul. So let me just cut to the chase. You're an old soul if you're resonating with this. This isn't your first rodeo as far as incarnating as a mystic or um, some kind of sage or healer, medicine woman, or anything like or light leader or anything like that. This has been many, many lifetimes where you have played this role as a high priestess, as a bridge between heaven and earth. And this is the lifetime. This is the lifetime is even right now, as I record this, 2025 is the year that on a soul level you have been preparing for. This is where the rubber hits the road. This is where, if you look out in humanity, shit is hitting the fan. This is not accidental. This is not coincidental. Like, basically, the entire world is going through one big Kundalini awakening. Nobody can hide from the falsehoods and the untruth and the greed and the manipulation and the control and the old world paradigm that is rooted on fear-based consciousness. Nobody can hide from that now. Truth is being revealed in so many different ways. You can just barely glance at the news and you can see that. And people are being forced to go inward to really trust in their own discernment and in their own judgment. They're not able to trust the news. They're not able to trust um, what other people are saying. They're not able to, people are being guided. So, regardless of where anybody is at on this ascension, every being has uh, collectively agreed to be part of this mass ascension right now, but you are here to lead it. And you've known that for a long time. And it's happening now. And it's unfolding beneath your feet. And it requires your full inner authority, your trust, your knowing, and your sacred action steps on what you're being guided to take action on. And it will be completely in alignment with your highest Dharma timeline, which is basically your highest contribution to humanity, which is what you came here to do, which is why you have a pure heart, which is why you've always been showing up in many different ways over the years for a long time. But all of that has prepared you now for this pivotal shift into the next evolution of your sacred mission, so to speak. So, that was a lot coming through. I'm excited for this wave. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for myself. I'm excited for everything that's coming through right now for the collective. I'm excited for all of the activations that are coming through right now. You may have felt at the time of this recording very tired, taking a lot of naps lately and things like that. You are being, your frequency is rising. The body is catching up. So that's the other thing that's coming through. Rest when you need rest. The body is catching up to hold the frequency that, and that's going to continue for a while, for a long time. Your body is catching up to hold the frequency, and the quantum field that you've been, signaling and broadcasting to for years, but even more specifically the last 6 months in 2025 has been recalibrating, and you've been getting the signs and the synchronicities and the downloads. It's all connected. You can't miss it. You can't escape it. It's all because you're collapsing into that timeline. So you can trust all of the synchronicities that you're receiving and take action on what you feel called to take action on. And sometimes that action is to rest. Sometimes that action is to rest in your divine feminine essence. And that is also part of the creation process. But there is a strong message coming through that it's time to take action, aligned action. This isn't efforting. You shouldn't be burning out. This isn't forcing. It's not motivation driven, right? It's not this none of that kind of like trying to figure it out, hustle, you need some kind of external result. It's like, no, you've just clicked in to a knowing that has been in your in your DNA this whole time, and it's just been turned up, and you already know. And any actions that come from this knowing, you will naturally take. So if the mind tries to figure it out, tries to like make sense of everything and tries to manipulate things in order to get some kind of external outcome, that egoic identity, that is likely falling away for you completely or entirely right now. Or it will be illuminated here within the next days and weeks for you to see through that, because this is just about aligned action at this point. But there are things coming through. The last thing I'll share, some of these things coming through are not going to require any action from you. They're only going to require your yes, fully owning your power and your divine authority and choosing yourself and knowing that you got this and knowing that you're supported. I'm getting full body chills right now. Knowing that you're fully guided and supported in what you came here to do, and that it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else, and that even though there will be opposition with your rising, you are designed, divinely designed and divinely groomed to handle it. You are a natural born leader. You are a spiritual warrior at your core. You came here to lead a new paradigm, not blend into it. not hide, not run from your light or your magic. You came here to shine unapologetically in it, and through you shining unapologetically in it, you literally shift frequencies and shift the frequency of the rooms you enter, shift the frequencies of the companies you enter, or the school systems, or the healthcare systems, or wherever it is you're guided, or the communities you curate, the sacred spaces you hold, whatever it is. But yeah. So you've got this. You, divine intelligence has this. You are that. You are one with all of this. There is no separation. Separation is the illusion. This is all happening as it should. Everything's been unfolding perfectly, and you were never meant to step into. Oh, that's the other thing coming through. Like, you will be seen and be heard. Many of you, if you're resonating with this, you're meant to be seen and heard. You're meant to be in the spotlight somehow. You're meant to be sharing and speaking or channeling or singing or dancing or whatever it is, but you're meant to be seen and heard in your magic, your gift, and your sacred medicine. So you're meant to be seen, heard, and experienced in your divine genius and your authentic expression. And that right there is what is shifting others that come into proximity with you, or, um, you know, yeah, just like even physical proximity. You are shifting people at an energetic level by you being the beacon of light that you are. So, okay, I think that's it now. I think I covered so much. I don't know what even all I shared, but if this resonates with you, um, go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know. And until next time, I hope this finds you well. Namaste.